Listen. Paramashiva's direct message from Mahakailasa. Today's message is for every one of you, and especially the sannyasis who are going to get initiated today, tomorrow, in next few days. All of you should know there is a wonderful news. A large team of Kailasavasis and sannyasis, applicants, went through the interview and sannyas initiation preparations last few days. With Paramashiva's grace, it was an intense work done. Now, a large team of new applicants are getting initiated in next few days. So today's message from Paramashiva is for all of you and for them. Listen. I'll explain step by step. Listen deeply. When a child sees a nightmare, frightening dream, something very frightening in his dream, even after waking up for many hours, he will continue to cry, suffer physically, mentally. The impact of his dream, his nightmare. But a matured adult, when he sees a nightmare, bad dream, after he wakes up, by his very nature, he unclutches from it. He knows that dream, that nightmare is from altered state of consciousness. He neither suffers for that dream and nightmare, nor he fights with it, or he does not even works to avoid it in the future. He just knows it is not him. Understand? Maturity means knowing you are not responsible for what goes on in you in altered states of consciousness, especially lower ones. Listen. Dhyanena shrunvandu. Shrunvandu vishve amrutasya putraha. Listen intensely. Conscious maturity means knowing you are not responsible for what goes on, what you see, what you experience in your altered state of consciousness, especially lower states, you unclutch from it naturally. For example, if you see a nightmare, tiger is chasing you, elephant is chasing you, lion is chasing you, or a snake is chasing you, it's not that you after waking up from that nightmare, you pick up a gun and start searching for the tiger, and you plan for how to fight with that tiger, you plan for how to fight with that elephant, you plan for how to fight with that lion. No, you just know it is not you anymore, and that does not have any more impact on you or on your life. Same way, listen, apply the same principle in you and internalize. Realize the truth. The next truth I am giving you, this is the important truth you need to internalize. Listen. Shrunvandu Visve. Dhyanena Shrunvandu Vishve Amritasya Putraha. Shrunvandu, listen. A man, when he is in hyper hormonal vulnerability, hormonal pressure, or hypersexual compulsive behavior, or hypersexual vulnerable position, when a woman, female body is in her periods, during these both states, a man in hyperhormonal pressure, hypersexual pressure, when he is in hypersexual obsessive compulsive behavioral patterns, when a female is in her monthly cycles, periods, when she is also in hyper compulsive behavior and thought current patterns, both the time you are in altered state of consciousness which is lower than your existence. That state of consciousness is Swapna Jakrat, Sushupti Jakrat, Jakrat Swapna, Jakrat Sushupti. Later on, when you have time, go through a table column I have made and described elaborately about these 25 states of consciousness. Go through that satsang, you will understand more details. Now understand this much. A male during his hypersexual urge, push, unconscious, obsessive compulsive behavioral pattern, a female caught during her monthly period cycle, an obsessive compulsive mental, physical, behavioral patterns like a delusion, insecurities looking really real, These states are just like dream, nightmare or wet dream. They are altered state of consciousness lower than your existence. Wake up to the truth. You are neither responsible for it, nor you need to fight with it. Just naturally unclutch from it. Listen. Do you ask me a technique? Swamiji, I'm having sometimes the dreams, elephant chasing me. Can you teach me a methodology to kill that elephant? No. Can you teach me a methodology to shoot the tiger during my dream? No. Same way, even asking for method. Just today, one of my brahmachari who has this kind of problems, he asked me, can you give me a technique, method, how to come out of this hormonal imbalance times? Hey, wake up to the truth that is not you. Just like how you know the nightmare is from your altered state of consciousness, not you. Same way, your behaviors and attitudes, thought currents during the high hormone pressure or during menstrual cycle, the periods, moods, is from altered state of consciousness. It is not you. Do not try to fight with it. Do not wrongly associate that is part of you. Do not wrongly own up that as part of you. You see, wrong association, wrongly owning up creates multi-level complications which you can't actually handle. What women goes through during menopause, what man goes through if he is suffering with a long time uncontrolled diabetes. Please listen. Diabetes, the insulin ups and downs, if you leave it unattended, it is not just going to affect your physical health, it is going to put you in an altered state of consciousness where many of your insecurities will be seen as a reality. See, the delusion will be such, you will start seeing that as a reality and you will be made to take decisions. So please understand, the first step, naturally unclutch. then next step, you can even find a holistic solution. Never to allow this altered state of consciousness, especially lower ones, to occur in you. First step you need to do is be getting matured just by the simple knowledge. Just a simple knowledge can bring tremendous maturity to you. Many of the decisions you made during the insecurity, obsessional, compulsive behavior patterns, either during your hormonal pressure, menstrual cycle, menopause time, or high insulin fluctuation. These are not part of you. Don't suffer due to them. See, by you not suffering, brooding over, taking your nightmares seriously, you stop them repeating inside you. Just by not taking them seriously, you stop them repeating inside you. The decisions you made, the mess you made during the hyper sexual pressure or the menstrual cycle, periods time. First thing you should remember, that is just like nightmare or wet dream. It is from altered state of consciousness, not from me, not from you. Wake up to that. That will dissolve 90% of your problem. The remaining 10% is, what is that problem? Only one. It should not repeat itself. How to do? By waking up itself, the repetition possibility stops 90%. Then, working on moving towards higher state of consciousness stops this lower altered states of consciousness repetition. Too many big problems and issues and delusions with which you are struggling can be dealt just by simple understanding. Knowledge. Simple knowledge about the different state of consciousness. वेदनायाः पीठाश्च आस्तित्वं नकारितुं शक्तिलीलास्थितिः परमशिवानन्ददीक्षा सर्वे वेदना पीठाः भयाश्च निरार्गताः अप्रासङ्गिकाश्च भविष्यन्ति. सर्वेभ्यः वासनाक्रस्त मनोविकारेभ्यः मुक्तिप्राप्तिः इत्यतेषु शृण्वन्तु विश्वे अमृतस्य पुत्राः वेदाहमेकं पुरुषं महान्तम् आदित्यवर्णं तमसः परस्तात्. ध्यानेन शृण्वन्तु. Listen intensely. Step by step. Kids mentally not evolved, kids who cannot differentiate between the lower states like a dream and waking state suffer for what happened in the dream state, even in waking state. But a mentally matured adult does not suffer for what happened in the dream state, in waking state. Same way, how a mentally matured adult naturally unclutches from what happened in the dream state during the waking state. A consciously matured adult should naturally unclutch what happened during your peak hormonal pressure, obsessive compulsive sexual pattern, altered state of consciousness, and menstrual cycle periods, altered state of consciousness. You should naturally unclutch from it. Just as a sahaja sthiti, unclutching happens when you understand it. Understanding and unclutching from what happened in your lower state of consciousness, and the moment you unclutch and know it, you will simply alter those decisions. Your ego will not come in between to change the course of direction, to correct the course of the direction of your life during the menstrual periods, altered state of lower consciousness. If you messed up your life, don't suffer with it, having the ego that is what is you and you should hold on to the decision. No, that is not you. As a natural way, unclutch from it, alter, do the course correction. Don't try to stick the route you took during the hormonal high pressure, the hypersexual, obsessive compulsive disorder pattern time, or menstrual cycle periods, obsessive compulsive delusional insecurity patterns times. Both are altered state of consciousness and lower states. You just need to unclutch from it as a natural Sahaja Samadhi, Sahaja Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and align yourself back to you, to your higher state of consciousness. I sincerely recommend all of you to read Ribu Gita in its original form, Sanskrit, if not the translation and the satsangs I conducted on Ribu Gita. I have given satsangs on Ribu Gita. That gives you powerful cognitions. You can actually type each of the Ribu Gita sloka and ask Nityananda, please elaborately give the meaning, translation, right understanding, powerful cognitions of each Ribu Gita sloka, as Nityananda will give you, because I have spoken elaborately, translated and commented on Ribu Gita. Detailed. It's available in Ask Nityananda AI. I am giving you the essence. Sahajastitehe bhavasya vasanakrasta manovigarebhyah muktim prapya. Being in Sahaja Samadhi, liberate yourself from these obsessive compulsive disorders generated during the altered states of lower consciousness. There is altered states of higher consciousness, like above the Jakrat, Turiya, Turyadita, Jakrat, Turiya, Jakrat, Turyadita, Turyadita, Jakrat, Turiya, Jakrat. These are the higher state of altered states of consciousness, but higher states. Those are amazing. But do not trust the lower level altered states of consciousness. I tell you, just by having right manual for the car you own or the gadgets you own, reading them once, you will be able to use them to the optimal and make your life rich. There are people who use even the iPhone 16 series, Apple 16 series, I think recently got released, just as a button phone, because they do not know how to use the device. Same way, Paramashiva has given you not Apple 16, Apple Infinity. Your body and mind is an Apple Infinity possibilities. if you don't read the manual he has given you? You may be using them just as a button phone. The manual for the body, mind and consciousness you are carrying is what I am giving as the satsangs. These truths about 25 states of consciousness, truths about 11 dimensions, truths about vertical time zones, truths about 14 lokas, all these are manual for your body and mind and consciousness you are carrying. How to use them to the optimal level. What all you can do with what Paramashiva has given you. Don't use Apple 16 Pro Max as just button phone. Have the manual, study it thoroughly, how to use it for all the best things for which it's created and enrich your life. Same way, the body and mind and consciousness Paramashiva gave you. Read the basic manual. Maybe I can make an app in our Ask Nityananda. Basic manual for your body, mind and consciousness. You can be from any background, any religion, any background, any caste, any community. If you have a human body, human mind, human consciousness, if you just have a human body, naturally you have a human mind and human consciousness. You can download this app and just study the basics of what you need to know, all the possibilities and powers you can manifest and enrich your life. App for human body, mind and consciousness. App for human beings. I'll do it. I commit with you all, I'll do it. It will be experiential. It will be experiential, absolutely experiential. Not some theory, not some story, absolutely experiential. Just like how when you understand, hey, I don't suffer for the nightmares I had after I wake up. Same way, I should not suffer for the mess I went through during the hyper hormonal pressure or the menstrual cycle periods. During the menstrual cycle periods, the delusions, insecurities, good or bad, anything I go through at that time is from altered lower state of consciousness. So I don't need to suffer for it. I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to associate myself with it. Waking up, how relieved you feel. Ah. Same way, just knowledge about your body, mind, consciousness can relieve you from so many sufferings. That is what is today's initiation. Making your pains and sufferings redundant, irrelevant, just by waking up. Wake up to the powerful space of Paramashivanandam. Through which all your pains and sufferings and fears become redundant and irrelevant. Listen. I'll also give you a powerful technique. Just meditate on. I meditate on my highest state, Paramashivanandam, which fills everything which cannot be filled by anything, which overpowers everything which cannot be overpowered by anything, which pervades everything which cannot be pervaded by anything. Listen to this truth and meditate. I meditate on. I declare my original state, me, Paramashiva, which vibrates as me in me, the source of my first person, which pervades everything, which cannot be pervaded by anything, which fills everything, which cannot be filled by anything else, which is supreme to everything, and nothing else can claim supreme over it. That Paramashiva, the highest state of, ultimate state of consciousness and bliss, Paramashiva Sat, Paramashiva Chit, Paramashivanandam. I declare me, that as me. Sit with this truth. All the nightmares you had in your lower altered states, in your altered lower states, will become irrelevant and redundant. I am talking to each one of you. I am talking to each one of you. I can name each one of you. But I want all of you to know I am talking to each one of you, means each one of you. Sit, sit, sit. Tell now to yourself. Consciously I declare the source of my first person, Paramashiva, is me. He pervades everything and he cannot be pervaded by anything. He is supreme to everything. Nothing more can be supreme to you, to it. He fills everything, nothing can fill him. everything merges in him. He does not merge into anything. Everything comes out of him. He does not come out of anything. That he, me, he. I sit as that now and declare, let all nightmares and delusions, obsessive, compulsive disorders, patterns, which I manifest, from my altered lower states of consciousness is not me and does not affect me. Listen, many times you think if I talk generally for everyone, it is not specifically for you. No. That is why I am naming. Specifically for you I am talking, not generally. I may not have read out every name. We all have unique, subtle possessiveness. It has to be me, means it should not be for anyone else. No. Paramashiva talks universal and specific to you. To you. Some of you may already started having fear or greed. I may name you. Whether I name you separately or not, I am talking to you. Whoever listening to this satsang now or in future, because there is no past, present, future for me. I am in Nitya space, which is eternal. All those who want to create Kailasa wherever you are, like Pusalar Nayanar. I don't know how many of you know, in Tondai Mandalam, Tondai Nadu, a great saint, Pusalar Nayanar, existed. He made Kailasa inside him. Beautiful temple inside him. Consciously. Each one of you have to become Pusalar Nayanar. Wherever you are, you have to manifest Kailasa inside you. Then you will manifest Kailasa ecosystem outside you. Wherever you are. And you can also come and join in the Kailasa ecosystem. I am making for all of you. In all three levels, whether you are in the level of making Kailasa inside you, or you already made Kailasa inside you and you are manifesting it outside you, or you are coming and joining in the Kailasa ecosystem I am manifesting I have created, or you are coming and joining or already joined in the Kailasa ecosystem. I manifested and getting trained to manifest Kailasa inside you. Any level you are in, the fundamental thing, first step is becoming Pusalar Nayanar. Consciously building Kailasa inside. This today's initiation is building Kailasa inside you.
Nityanandam, thank you for watching, and if you found the video enlightening,
Please give it a like, share it with your loved ones, and subscribe to stay connected with us.
don't forget to click the bell icon to receive the notifications.